most people, by the time the disease happens that causes early death, you've had it in your system for a very long time. You're a 20-year-old Gambian right now, and you say, okay, Innovarx is not even going to charge me to go check my blood pressure, check my blood sugar, check my weight to make sure I'm healthy. Even if you just do that for yourself every 6 months, the moment there's a switch that happens, which sometimes is out of your control because it's genetic, right? When I walked into the doctor's office at 28 years old, I was in my physical prime. I had less than 10% body percent fat. I was the athlete like nobody else.
Yes.
I had hypertension.
Can tell by looking.
Yeah. But the moment they told me I was hypertensive, I knew it was in my DNA for the longest because it killed my grandmother. My mom had it. So being a medical professional, I was like, okay, now I know what to do. My capture moment happened since 2018, when I was 28. Every single day I've been taking a blood pressure medicine without fail because I know what the outcome is if I don't. Blood pressure is not going away. My job right now as an entrepreneur itself is a risk factor based on the amount of stress that I deal with.
The amount of stress,
But me being unmedicated, meaning not controlling it, is being on a fast train to kidney failure, a stroke, and I am more than likely going to die in my 50s if I did not start making those changes at 28.
Right.
And like you mentioned, us men do think we're invincible, especially if physically, even to this day, when I tell people I have high blood pressure, they don't believe it. It's young people, even before your first capture moment, you should know what's in your DNA. What did mommy die from? What did daddy die from? What did our grandparents die from? If it was hypertension, diabetes, heart failure, genetically, you're already at risk. So now you need to start seeking healthcare where it's not even cost associated because we've removed costs. Show up to Innovarx any day. We'll check your blood pressure. We'll check your blood sugar. We'll tell you this is where you are. Now, the first one is for you, information. The second one is on you, meaning if we tell you that you're hypertensive at 25, right? Now, we've done our part. It's your part. If you stay in denial, you're not going to see your daughter get married. And that happens in Gambia all the time where men in their 30s and 20s, you tell them, it's not stress, you are hypertensive, you have diabetes, start your treatment now. They will ignore it until the ticking time bomb explodes. And then, I just saw Michael yesterday. What happened? He died from something that has been killing him for 20 years. It's not voodoo, it's not black magic, it's not luck. He died from a chronic condition that was unmanaged, that started 20 years ago, that he knew the information, but ignored it. And he died before he made his will. He died before he had inheritance plan in place. He died before he had a financial wealth transfer system. So it affects the entire generation. So what you did for yourself, you were doing it for your 4-year-old son to have a chance of having conversations with you when he also has a son or a daughter. That's what you're doing for. But it's information, because the moment you let go, diabetes is around the corner. Right? It's just what it is, Michael. It's healthcare is not that complicated. It's how early could you get information, and what do you do after you're presented with that information? That's the game. Now you could get hit by lightning, or in Gambia you can have a motor vehicle accident, which people die all the time. But the things you can control most of the times, our deaths, they're not preventable, but they could be delayed. 100%. And that's the game you're playing. 100%. Just delayed as long as possible, right? But the death is inevitable.
Yes. Doc, I knew this. I knew this was going to be the case, and thanks for your time.
Of course.
But this message is important to get to the people. You said healthcare. The way you just presented healthcare and how you simplified it for the masses. You've avoided all those words that I can't spell, and you've avoided everything, doctor language, and that was intentional from my end too, because I just wanted to make it as practical as I just did. And I laid out these examples, but you offer more than these 3 examples that I've asked about. If anybody is in the diaspora, whether you're in the Gambia, where Innovarx is, and wherever else you're spreading, because I did see that you're looking at. Tell me where else you guys are or are going to be going, in the near future.
So
tell me about that first.
It's never been a Gambia project. It's been an Africa project. And honestly, Michael, I identify more as being West African than I do Gambian. I know it is just what it is, right?
100%. Yeah.
So in Nigeria, we ran a pilot. Everything I said about Gambian youth, when I went to Nigeria, I had a different experience. The hunger for knowledge and competency, right? So Nigeria, we've already run a pilot. We're getting ready to scale there. We have conversations in some East African countries that we're looking at. But everything I described to you, even any African country is ready for Innovarx. And we have the ability. And it'll be easier in some of those countries because talent and then their regulatory affairs are more inviting and conducive for innovation. Beautiful. Right? So as difficult as Gambia has been the past 4 years, we're excited about the Africa expansion for sure. That's going to happen.